Hi everyone, Brian from Rebel Traders here. Happy New Year, January 2nd, 2022. Hope everybody had a really good holiday season. And of course, this is the weekend video where we'll take a look at how things went last week and look ahead, see what's coming down the pipe. We've got lots of interesting things that are going to be driving the markets here on Monday morning. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start out by taking a look at how things traded last week. Markets were a little bit choppy, although we did end up on the week for pretty much all the indexes. Dow and S&P performed the best, and the Qs and IWM did manage to squeak out a gain. One thing of note that the S&P in December did have its best performance since 2010, so pretty strong Santa Claus rally there through the end of the year. Areas of strength and weakness, if you looked at the week overall, really the defensive stocks were the ones where you wanted to be. Staples, utilities, that kind of stuff. Consumer discretionary and technology were a little bit on the weaker side. And the 10-year Treasury went out kind of flat. We seem to be sort of trading mid-range right now, and that's where we're stuck. And on Friday, the U.S. dollar really rolled over a little bit, showed a little bit of weakness. Saw that in the price of gold and silver catching a bid. So let's take a look at some charts here and go over that in a little more depth. But before that, this video is brought to you by my swing trading book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade, Strategies of a Swing Trader. If you want to check it out, there it is for the taking. So let's take a look at some charts here. And as always, we'll start out by looking at some Treasury yields. I'm still watching the 2-year. Look at this, it just keeps creeping up. Seems like it creeps up a little bit every day, or every week I should say, and we just continue on this path higher. And again, just keeping an eye on it at this point. Always interested to see how the 2s and the 10s compare. You can see the 10s, we are really just sort of narrowing back into a bit of a pennant here, and we'll see which direction it breaks out of. But again, it's just a sort of watch at this point. Transports, really kind of just struggling here right at this this prior level of support, which has now become resistance, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. If we get a breakout to the upside, that should bode well for, certainly for the Dow and maybe some of the other indexes, because you do want to see the transports coming along with the rest of the market. So speaking of the Dow, again, 2 days up, 2 days down, did manage to finish out the week about 1% higher. We did make an all-time high there, pushed right through, but we didn't hold it and came back down. We were actually at an all-time high on Tuesday by the looks of it, closed out the day higher, just couldn't hold it into the latter half of the week. A little bit of weakness, but as you can see, volume really dropped off, so we'll be watching the markets on Monday. We maybe some topping action here, but certainly we've settled an area here for resistance going forward. Again, the Dow pushing to a new high, then coming back. The Qs, again, pretty much a down day every day last week, and still managed to finish out the week just a fraction higher. But again, pretty low volume. It was a low volume week last week. Momentum is kind of rolling over here. Let's take a look on a weekly. Again, sort of a reversing candle here. So again, we'll be keeping an eye on interest rates, because that'll dictate maybe where some of the technology sector goes. But higher growth names under pressure when interest rates go up. But again, sort of topping action there on the Qs. SPY, again, pretty choppy week, but we did manage to finish up again higher on a weekly basis, and of course had the best December since 2010. And you can see here again, all-time high close on the SPY. So as I've been keeping seeing this and saying this over and over and over again, sound like a broken record, SPY is still in an uptrend, still holding this 20-day moving average. Again, volume very light last week and prior week, just trading around the Christmas holiday season. The IWM really just fell back down into this range, and now we're sort of mid-range, maybe trading a little bit up on the higher end of this this trading range here. But again, putting in these reversing doji candles, so certainly it's having trouble holding above this 200-day moving average. So IWM still looking a little bit weak here. The dollar, as I mentioned in the opening segment, you can see here we're really are sort of breaking this this uptrend. We kind of came into a period of consolidation here, and now we're breaking down. So this should be good for gold and silver, which I am holding a position in now. Volatility, really, when the market's kind of just tapered off the last couple of weeks, volatility got sucked out of the market, and we're right back down into this lower band of prior support numerous times over the last couple months. And Bitcoin, again, Bitcoin's really just at this point, they're just fighting to defend this 46,000 level, and certainly a loss of that level will be significant, but we'll see. It's trading down below the 200-day moving average right now. It's at 47,000 roughly, and yeah, we'll again, if you're a cryptocurrency trader, specifically in Bitcoin, just keep an eye on that $46,000 level. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of interesting things coming up this week, and we'll get into that right now. Of course, we've got the Consumer Electronics Show that's starting this week, January 5th to 8th. And there's going to be, obviously, there's usually some news releases, some new products being introduced to the public. So there'll be, I know AMD and Intel are on deck there to introduce some of their new chip technologies. And so, yeah, there's lots of new technologies. Autonomous driving, EV vehicles are going to be big on the agenda this week at the show as well. So let's just take a few stocks that could be benefiting from that show, and we'll talk a little bit more about the EV stocks in a second here. But there's Apple. Apple just continues to show strength here. It's in a nice uptrend. I just keep watching this 20-day moving average here for support if it does pull back here. And next week I'm thinking things are going to be overall in the markets maybe a little bit choppy, but depending on how things go with the Consumer Electronics Show and the EV sector, which may push the markets higher here. AMD, again, set to release some new information about, I think, their chips this week, so could benefit from that. And again, we're right at some support for some moving averages there, so we could see a pop on AMD. Baidu, it looked like some of the Chinese stocks were starting to find a bit of a bottom here. We had a massive day on the Thursday, and then Friday kind of held those gains, although we were off the highs from the previous day, but again, not a significant pullback after this big volume day. So looking at some of the Chinese stocks, JD, possibly KWeb, if you just want the internet stocks on a ETF, could be a good trade. But these Chinese stocks may be finding a bit of a bottom here. Disney, I'm just watching here. It seems to be struggling right at this 155 level. If we can get over this moving average, we probably got some blue sky up to at least 168. Facebook again seems to be chopping in a range here, so finding areas of support and resistance to trade while it's in this range of sort of 325 to 345. Talking about the EV sector, so over the weekend, Sunday, there was a lot of news that came out, and a lot of the Chinese stocks reported, Chinese EV stocks reported really robust deliveries in the latest quarter, and then Tesla just came in as well, and also sort of blew the numbers out of the market here. So I am expecting a lot of strength in the EV sector on Monday, which are definitely going to be a focus. So watching anything EV, so Lucid looks kind of interesting here. It should break out. NIO, again, one of those stocks that reported their deliveries were very good, and again will probably benefit quite handsomely when we open up on Monday. NVIDIA, again, AI, autonomous driving. I think NVIDIA will be, of course, a feature at the electronics show as well. So I think there'll probably be some positive price action on NVIDIA. I'm watching TAN, solar sector here. It looks like it's putting in a bit of a bottom as well. And hopefully in the States we can get this infrastructure, this Build Back Better bill maybe passed in the new year, and this is the kind of ETF that will definitely benefit. Tesla, again, as I mentioned, reported really good delivery numbers just within the last 24 hours, and I expect Tesla will be making a significant move tomorrow. So watch for that. Okay, quick wrap up here. Let's take a look at some of the market indexes, where the support and resistance is at. I won't go through them. You can see them there if you want to pause it. But again, things to watch this week: Consumer Electronics Show. Watch for that wasn't right, Intel, but watch for various announcements. This Consumer Electronics Show is probably going to be heavy on autonomous driving. So you've got stocks like Nvidia, MU, and Laser, just to name a few stocks that might be in play. EV stocks should be strong after the Chinese companies, and Tesla just reported very strong delivery numbers, as I've already talked about. So there's a couple of stocks you might want to keep an eye on. I'm sure you have your own favorites. We do economic events. We do have some stuff coming up this week. We've got OPEC meeting, might have an impact on oil prices. We've got jobless claims and the release of the Fed minutes from December. And for earnings, nothing really of note except till we get to the end of the week. There we'll have Bed Bath & Beyond, Walgreens, and Constellation Brands. Again, that'll be on Thursday, so not much in the way of earnings until then. Hope everyone had a great holiday, like I said, and we'll hopefully see you. We'll be starting up 8 in the morning Eastern Time, taking you through engineering the markets, and then the pre-market show live on YouTube, and then of course starting to trade the market open at 9:30. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you at one or all of those events tomorrow morning. Take care and trade safe. Bye for now.